Learning objectives. At the end of this topic, you will be able to understand the concepts of a chemical change and a physical change. Identify observable evidence of a physical change. Identify observable evidence of a chemical change. Example, color change, heat and/or light being given off or taken in by reactants, gas being given off, and a change in odor. Explain the term crystallization. Introduction. It is raining. Looks like the rain is going to stop. Now it has stopped raining. What do you think will happen to the water in the puddle after some time? Click on the puddle to know what happened. Yes, the water dries up. It evaporates. It's 15th of August. There is a large crowd gathered in the Red Fort to celebrate the Independence Day. They are waiting for the countdown. Wow! There is a fireworks display. During a fireworks display, chemical changes happen. Do you know what a chemical change is? Let us understand about the physical changes. Can you give some examples that happen in your daily life? Click each picture to view examples of daily activities that involve physical change. The ice cubes are melting. The water is boiling and water vapor is produced. The water evaporated. Now click on these pictures again. What do you think will happen? The water is freezing. The water vapor condensed. It's raining. Now it's time for us to explore what actually happened in all those examples. The pictures show the ice cubes and the molecular arrangement in solids when the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. Use the slider to show the differences in physical properties and molecular arrangement when the temperature is increased or decreased. Physical properties of ice, water, and vapor are quite different, but all of them are water. A physical change involves the arrangement of particles but does not affect their chemical properties. There is no change in the chemical nature of the substances. Physical changes are usually reversible. Physical change is the change of a substance from one form to another without any new substance being formed. Less energy is needed when this process happens. For example, drying wet clothes. Look at the picture above. What is this woman doing? She is washing clothes using a washing machine. Water will evaporate when the wet clothes are dried under the sun. The process in which the wet clothes become dry is evaporation. Evaporation involves physical change from water to vapor. Evaporation is a process involving physical change. However, the chemical properties of water are not changed at all. Click on the box to view some examples of the characteristics of physical changes. The characteristics of the physical changes are: no changes in chemical composition. Water consists of two elements, oxygen and hydrogen. Its composition is the same despite the change of state. Reversible. The state of water is reversible. For instance, ice in solid state can be changed to water in liquid state and vice versa. When ice is heated, the physical properties change from solid to liquid and from liquid to gas. Less energy involved. Physical changes involve less energy than chemical changes. No new substances are formed. No new substance is formed when water is heated. Chemical changes. What is a chemical change? Discuss what happened. When paper is burning, an apple changes its color, and fireworks explode. Chemical changes happen. A chemical change occurs when substances react and produce new substances. The new substances have properties which are different from those of the original substances. Paper, which contains carbon, will react with oxygen in the air during the burning process, thus producing carbon dioxide. Apples which contain ferrous ion will react with oxygen in the air, thus producing ferrous oxide. Fireworks which contain magnesium will react with oxygen in the air to produce magnesium oxide. It is not reversible. This chemical change needs energy to make it happen. There are many examples of chemical changes around us. Let us look at a few of them. A piece of iron metal should not be left exposed to water. If a piece of metal is exposed to rain for some time, what do you think will happen to the metal? Discuss and click to confirm your answer. The metal will rust due to the reaction of iron with oxygen in the presence of water. Iron 3 oxides are formed. This is a chemical change. A new substance is formed. There is a change in the chemical composition and properties of iron. The man is sweeping dry leaves into a large pile. Now he is going to burn the pile of leaves. He takes out a match and strikes it. The match is lit up. Now help him burn the leaves. Drag the match to the dry leaves. The leaves burn. When a match is lit and dry leaves are burnt, what happens? Discuss and click to check your answer. Burning is a process where chemical change occurs. Carbon in the matchstick and leaves react with the oxygen in air, producing carbon dioxide. A new substance is formed. A chemical change absorbs or releases a lot of energy. Here is another example of a chemical change. Break an egg onto the frying pan. Click on the egg. Let the egg cook. Click on the egg. A chemical change has occurred. A new substance is produced. An irreversible process has happened. This is a tree. Trees are plants. Plants produce food through photosynthesis. What are the requirements for photosynthesis? Click on the leaf. Photosynthesis will occur in the presence of water, carbon dioxide, sunlight, and chlorophyll. What are the products of photosynthesis? Click on the arrow. Photosynthesis produces oxygen and glucose. A chemical change has happened. New substances are produced. Photosynthesis will occur in the presence of water, carbon dioxide, sunlight, and chlorophyll. Characteristics of chemical changes. To know the characteristics of chemical changes, click on the box. New substances are formed. Change in chemical composition and properties. Absorb or release energy. Irreversible and permanent. Let us compare and contrast between physical changes and chemical changes. Both changes involve energy. There is no new substance formed in a physical change, whereas new substance is formed in a chemical change. The energy requirement in the physical change is very less. But in a chemical reaction, the process involves absorption and release of more energy. A physical change is a reversible process, whereas chemical change is an irreversible process. Chemical composition and properties of the material do not change when physical changes occur, but do occur in a chemical change.
What is the difference between these two nails?
This nail is covered with a layer of reddish-brown substance. This nail looks clean and feels smooth.
Yes, this is what a nail looks like when it's new. After some time, it has a layer of reddish-brown substance on it. The substance is known as rust. The nail becomes rusty after some time. Do you know what material is used to make these nails?
The nails are made of iron.
Very good. A wire gauge and iron wire can rust too. Look at this wire gauge. It has small patches of rust on it. The wire gauge is rusty.
Look! This iron wire also has a layer of rust on it. The iron wire is rusty. However, this wire gauge and iron wire are not rusty.
Yes, but they can become rusty after some time.
What are the other objects that can rust? What are these objects made of? Discuss this with your friends. Paper clips, screws, springs and thumbtacks are some of the substances that can rust. They are made up of iron. Objects that are made of iron can rust. Crystallization. Crystallization is the process of getting crystals of a pure substance from its solution. The solution is warmed in an open container allowing the solvent to evaporate, leaving a saturated solution. A solution that has as much solid dissolved in it as it can possibly contain is called a saturated solution. As the saturated solution is allowed to cool, the solid will come out of the solution and crystals will start to grow. The crystals can then be collected and allowed to dry. The size of crystals depends on the rate of cooling. Fast cooling will result in a larger number of small crystals. Slow cooling will result in a smaller number of large crystals. Let us see a video of how crystallization of copper sulfate takes place. Take 100 ml of water in a beaker. Place it over a tripod stand and heat it with a burner. After boiling the water, add 2 ml of dilute sulfuric acid to it. Add a spoonful of copper sulfate and stir it. When all the copper sulfate is dissolved, add another spoonful of copper sulfate and repeat the process of dissolving. Continue the process till the copper sulfate stops dissolving in water. Transfer the saturated solution using filter to another beaker. Place the solution over the trough containing warm water. Keep the beaker undisturbed overnight. After that, you will find blue crystals of copper sulfate at the bottom of the beaker. Summary. Let's summarize the topic. Changes can be of two types, physical and chemical. Physical changes are changes in the physical properties of substances. No new substances are formed in these changes. These changes may be reversible. In chemical changes, new substances are formed. The process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization. Crystallization is the process of getting crystals of a pure substance from its solution. The photos show an electroplating process and an object being painted. Rust is an undesirable chemical change. Electroplating and painting are processes that can prevent rust. How do these two processes prevent rust from occurring? Click the Info button to know more.